So we've been on a journey. We completed Bhagavad Gita before, and then recently we completed Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. We completed Sri Ishopanishad in last session, and it's definitely been like 1.5 years at least, if not more, on Shri Ishopanishad, and all the sessions are available, and we are always happy to discuss it. We are going to refer a few things, like when we did Shri Ishopanishad, we referred back to Bhagavad Gita, because all the fundamentals are the same. They have been presented in different ways, and of course, different acharyas, they have expanded it even further. So now, Srila Prabhupada ji, all right, okay, before we go, we are going to discuss Srila Rupa Goswami ji today, and I will mention the reason why. But before that, let's do the Mangala Charan, and we shall come back on Srila Rupa Goswami ji, because the whole session is going to be about Rupa Goswami ji today. But this is all due to the mercy of Srila Prabhupada ji, who provided the scriptures to us in such a way so we can understand and we can share among each other. Srila Prabhupada ji ki jai. And it's now, we will see today as well, very similar to what Rupa Goswami ji did. That's exactly what Srila Prabhupada ji did it. Literal translation, but also the manual hard work to spread the holy name. So let's do the Mangala Charan and we shall resume back to Rupa Goswami ji's. Om. अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानजनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे
Guruve
नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन
Yena
भूतले
Bhutale
स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुन् श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवं
Vaishnavasya Shri
श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण
Rupa
रघुनाथवितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सवाधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणाललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधा वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशितारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गुरुदेव की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय 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 श्री राधेश्याम हरे कृष्ण. Thank you everyone in joining in Mangala Charan. Today we are doing Shri Rupa Goswami Ji, and this Mangala Charan which we do, so any session anyone would do in Hare Krishna movement, in ISKCON, even in Gaudiya Math, similar sort of Mangalacharan. There is also a smaller version, and there is another one which is much bigger version. There's some shlokas we recite from Srimad Bhagavatam, but this is the standard if you think about it. And in this, there are a lot of different mantras. So if we see right at the beginning, Om Ajnana Tirmandhasya, this is a mantra for the Guru Maharaj. So whoever Guru Maharaj we have, and this mantra is not only for one Guru Maharaj, it's our own Guru Maharaj, and we would have different Guru Maharaj. So like when we do the Guru Puja, everybody used to do the Guru Puja for Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada used to recite the Guru Puja for his Guru Maharaj. And somebody actually asked this, a new devotee asked somebody else that we are doing Guru Puja for Srila Prabhupada ji, why he is reciting his own? And said, this is not his, this is for Guru. And we are reciting for him because he is Guru, he is reciting for his own Guru. And this is the parampara, Guru Shishya disciple, that we offer to our own Guru. Whatever we get, we offer it to our own Guru. And this is the first one, but the second one is a specific one. And this second one is Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa. Rupa for Rupa Goswamiji. Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam. So next slide we will see. So this mantra which we always do in Mangalacharan actually belongs to Rupa Goswamiji. Rupa Goswamiji, we will talk more about it, but the mantra itself, the translation is, when will Shri Rupa Goswamiji, who has established on this planet the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji's desire, give me shelter at his lotus feet. So the last word, Padantikam. Padantikam. So again, we are offering to the lotus feet of Shri Rupa Goswamiji. So this is a mantra which we always do it. And even when we go in the temple and we bow down at the front of Srila Prabhupadaji's deity, we recite Srila Prabhupadaji's Pranam mantra. When we see our Guru Maharaji, we recite Guru Maharaji's mantra. Rupa Goswamiji got his place in Vrindavan. And when we go to his samadhi, then we recite his mantra. But when we do the mala, the chanting, once we finish the chanting and we begin the new round, then also sometimes they recite Rupa Goswamiji's mantra. Otherwise, most of the time we recite Panch Tattva mantra, which is also there. So if you come over here, then Shri Chaitanya Mano, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji 1, Nityananda 2nd, Shri Advait 3rd, Gadadhar 4, Shri Vasadi 5. So this is Panch Tattva mantra. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, like all the Bhakta who follows all these five. So we bow down to all five. So this is a Panchatattva mantra which we also recite when we continue the mala and then we start the new round. Why we are discussing Rupa Goswamiji today? Because Rupa Goswamiji, we finished Bhagavad Gita and we did Shri Ishopnishad. Now we are going to do two other grantha, nectar of instruction and nectar of devotion. Nectar of instruction and nectar of devotion, Updeshamrit and Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. We will see a bit more on it. But these are compiled by Rupa Goswamiji. He was the one who has put these together. Hence, before we'll go there, his grantha, it's really good to understand the mood and the mission of Rupa Goswamiji. Very much in ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada has said it a number of times. Srila Prabhupada has said it in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita. If we see, we have the Bhagavad Gita as it is, and if we check out the introduction, in that Srila Prabhupada has said it. It has been said number of places, but specifically there, that we are Rupa Anuga. which is the followers of Rupa Goswami ji. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji came, Rupa Goswami ji was his disciple, and the lead chief disciple who could understood. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji himself said. And we consider Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji was Krishna himself in the combined form of Radha and Krishna. And there is a pastime on that. But Rupa Goswami ji understood Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji himself said it. And Rupa Goswami ji met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji and got some instructions. And the rest of his life, he spent following those instructions, like what Srila Prabhupada ji did it. Srila Prabhupada ji went to America not to enjoy the Western world like most of the people do, but at the age of nearly 70, when he was retired, he decided that this is the time before I die, I need to try my best. He said, I didn't know what I could achieve, but I just want to die trying to follow the instructions of my Guru Maharaj. And I was about to say to Anil Prabhuji, I was thinking of him this morning because I spoke to one of the devotees in Mayapur today. This morning, Prabhuji called me, and Prabhuji is very young. And if I have to put a number, maybe early 30s. 5 years back, Prabhuji completely relocated to Mayapur. So imagine somebody highly qualified, highly educated. He was working in Dubai, in Damodar Desh. He had when I was there in Dubai, Damodar Desh, I met him number of times. I met him in a wedding, a devotee wedding in a year back, and this is where he reminded me that was the last time we met. He has been serving for a while. He got associated with devotees. He loved it so much. He was serving even when he was in Damodar Desh, but 5 years back, he decided, I'm going to go. And then a couple of years back in Mayapur, couple of years back, he met Mataji and he got married 2 years back. And they both are living there in Mayapur together and they're serving 100% full time serving the devotees. So the reason I got in touch, I said I'm in between two jobs. I've completed one job, hopefully start the new one soon. So I have some time, and if I can serve in some manner, that will be great. And Prabhuji got me some service, so he called me to discuss that, and this is what he was discussing, which we never got the chance to discuss it before. And then I was thinking of. Prabhuji, Anil Prabhuji is saying that, oh yeah, Anil Prabhuji always said that he was also very busy. But some kind of services are so remote, like you might have remember I said that I've been doing some courses from Mayapur Institute. Bhakti Shastri is one of them, which I did from a manner, but new devotees they do from because it's online from Mayapur Institute and a great collection of senior Vaishnavas. They deliver the sessions. Being online, they can get hold of global, which is really nice, and a lot of global devotee congregation. They connect, and we write the essays. So they give me the service to check the markings, give the markings, and a lot of different ones. And I was discussing that the maybe Anil Prabhuji, even if we get the like 1 hour in a week, we can do this service, right? 1 hour in a week, and this way because we are going to read what other devotees have written, and it's all spiritual question, spiritual realization, and when you are t- serving, you are improving your own knowledge. And of course, you at that moment you are in Krishna consciousness. So what Prabhuji did, and I hope he wouldn't mind taking his name, His Grace Ojasvi Krishna Das. That's Prabhuji's name. 5 years back he moved, but around 9, 10 years back, I met another devotee who was there. So this Prabhuji obviously moved when he wasn't married. 5 years back, he wasn't married. So when you're alone, it's easier to move, most of us will think. But another devotee, Tapan Mishra Prabhuji, I lived with him for few days in Muscat, Mathura Desh. And then great deal, all the bills he shared with me, discussing that how much it will cost. And he decided to completely move. And I spoke to Prabhuji today that this Prabhuji is serving, he's the head of Ministry of Education in Mayapur Institute. He got Mataji, of course, and two girls, and they are there in the schools there. So when I met this Prabhuji, his family had already relocated. He went there, he established them, but he was working in senior post in Mathura Desh, in Muscat. So he came down just to finish few things before he would go back, and he did go back. So not only when you're bachelor you can move, but even when you have family, you can move. You don't even have to move. A lot of devotees, they are serving even in Grihastha. But all the varieties are there. And the happiness level, if you think about, it's amazing. It's amazing because they are always, most of the time, mm, dealing with devotees. If you haven't been to Mayapur, it's a big campus, thousands of devotees living there, serving together, big temple coming up, another new temple coming up there. And Shastric studies going on. It's like a Gurukul, the old Gurukul, all over world connecting to Mayapur online, and then you can deliver sessions. Another Prabhuji got in touch. He was a student with me. He's a still student, but he's also delivering a session with me. And he got in touch with me. Would you like to serve? And as and when you get the chance, you do it. This is all what we are trying to do, devotees are trying to do. What we got it from Rupa Goswami ji. Because Rupa Goswami ji got the instructions from his spiritual master Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji, and he spent the rest of his life following. And he was the finance minister at his time. So we will try to understand a bit about Rupa Goswami ji. It says Rupa Goswami ji, like we say, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji is Krishna himself. Now, Krishna has Radhaji. Radhaji has some gopis, and gopis have some manjaris. So these are like the whole circuit of Radhajis. Similarly, Krishna also got. So Rupa Goswamiji is considered as Rupa Manjari. So Rupa Goswamiji was considered one of those, and this is in Bhagavatam that even at the time of Ramayan, when Lord Rama came, a lot of monkeys were there. All those monkeys, the demigods, they took the incarnation and they became the monkey because when Lord Rama was coming, then the Brahmaji, when Shivji decided, I'm going to go down. And then Brahmaji said to demigods, Indra came and all the demigods were there. Brahmaji said that, well, Vishnu, Krishna is down, Lord Shiva is going down. I like to go down, but I have some service to do here, which I have been given. But you demigods, if you like to go down, take a form, whichever way you can serve the Lord Rama. And they all, most of them, they became the monkeys. Similarly, when Mahaprabhuji came down, a lot of different demigods, they took the form. And Rupa Goswamiji was one of those Manjaris who served Radhaji. And because Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji was Krishna and Radha combined together, so he was down to serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji. If we try to understand that spiritual bit. But even materially, what Rupa Goswamiji said, different ways it's been described. So, master of devotional literature, what Rupa Goswamiji had given to us. So, a lot and a lot of devotional literatures. Hence, when Chilla Prabhupada put together 4 books to make the foundation course, which is the Bhakti Shastri, Bhagavad Gita, Shri Ishopnishad, and 2 others, they both were by Rupa Goswamiji. There are so many other acharyas written. He could have easily done one from Rupa Goswamiji, one from somebody else. But no, these two he considered the topmost. And if you think about it, nectar of instruction, the instructions given, and we all should follow those instructions. And these instructions will help us in our devotion. But nectar of devotion, to understand what devotion is even better. So, master of devotional literature, the apostle of pure devotion is like if the topmost level of pure devotion, which is what we pure devotion, bhakti. we call it prema. It's like when we do the bhakti, like if you take the example of Mirabai, she used to do it. Why? Not to gain anything, not to show off, just because she was in complete prema with the Lord Krishna. So this is the apostle, the topmost, the architect of Gaudiya Vaishnav theology. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji was considered as Gaudiya, and because of him, the whole Gaudiya Mutt was established. But he was the architect, Rupa Goswami ji, because he gave the framework what Gaudiya will do now. Gaudiyas, the followers of Gaudiya Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what they will follow, what they will do. He put together all the framework in the form of nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion. He was a saint, he was a scholar, he was a literary master. So all three things, saint, sadhu, and we will see the quality. Scholar, he was a very learned person. And not only that, he was a learned materially, but spiritually, he gave a lot of literatures. Great saint and philosopher of Bhakti movement. This is another article been written on his name. A comprehensive study of Gauriya Vaishnav saint. If one thing we need to find, then Rupa Goswamiji is the one. Now, this is the time when he appeared, 1489 to 1564. Now, this is a rough guidance when he appeared and when he disappeared. So, being spiritual, we consider him as spiritual. So, we don't say that he was born and then died. We always celebrate appearance day and disappearance day because we consider that they came and then they disappeared. Unlike us, which are mortal, we take the birth and we die. Of course, the body takes the birth and die. The Atma, Jivatma, living entity inside, that doesn't. So before we go further, understanding how. So this is what we see. What Rupa Goswami. Well, we will see a bit more what exactly, but how we will see. We need to understand the six Goswamis of very briefly. So Shad Goswamiji's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji only gave eight, which is called Shiksha Ashtakam. If you will find on YouTube Shiksha Ashtakam, those are the only eight verses Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji wrote. Rest of the literature was by Rupa Goswami ji and many others. But Rupa Goswami ji led the group of six Goswamijis. They were the ones who went and followed the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji rest of their life. All of them were great, and they are. And their work we are still following. And as we say, 1400 they were. So 15th, 16th century. Now, topmost six Goswamijis of Vrindavan and Shad Goswamiji's Aarti and prayer is also there. We can find in YouTube. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji, Shishtastakam, Shad, the eight verses are there. And then six Goswamijis of Vrindavan. Now, with the, it's hard to say which one is which, but in the middle we know that there are two, Rupa Goswamiji and his brother Sanatan Goswamiji. So Rupa Goswamiji, and then Rupa Goswamiji is the one who wrote a lot of important work, and we will go and study two of them, and we will see the names of some of them. Sanatan Goswamiji was his elder brother. But Rupa Goswamiji was the leader, and Sanatan Goswamiji was serving with him. And I I did mention in the past that I was very blessed. I grew up in Vrindavan in my childhood because my mother was born in Vrindavan. I heard the stories of Sanatan Goswamiji's in my childhood, but I didn't know his name. So they always said like a Santa Sadhu, a Brajvasi was there, and then the stories go by. But I didn't know that he was Sanatan Goswami. Similarly, I found some of the stories and I thought, I have heard these stories. But then they said the stories are of Rupa Goswami because, of course, they used to live in Vrindavan. They re-established Vrindavan. But Rupa Goswamijis and Sanatan Goswamijis, they are very known in Vrindavan, even though people might know them by different names, but their stories are always living. Then we have Raghunath Bhatta Goswamiji. He was also very scholar and very devotional practices he did, which we follow, sometimes being referred. Then another one is Raghunath Das. So there are two Raghunath. One is Raghunath Bhatta. Another one is Raghunath Das. He also he renounced a lot of things, so he's famous for that. They all were very wealthy when they renounced things and they were on a high rank. Then Gopal Bhatta Goswamiji, he was also one of the founding member. Then Jiva Goswamiji, probably the end one. Jiva Goswamiji was probably the youngest one of all. So Rupa Goswamiji, Sanatan Goswamijis were two brothers. Jiva Goswamiji was their nephew. And it says that after after Ved Vyasji. If you remember, Ved Vyasji was the one who wrote or compiled the Vedas, Rig Veda, then split into four, then Puranas or Upanishads, Puranas, and then Mahakavya, Ramayana, Mahabharata. Everything was compiled by Ved Vyas. Ved Vyas is the only one who has written more than Jiva Goswamiji. Otherwise, after Ved Vyas, Jiva Goswamiji is the one who has compiled so much literal work. He was very young and he was capable of going into discussions with very senior devotees. And there's so many examples of it. Very briefly, if I mention, there was one, I won't mention the name of because he's the leader of another sampradaya, which a lot of people follow, and they might get hurt. But the pastime is there, real, and a number of places has been recited mentioned that he came to Rupa Goswamiji in Vrindavan, and Rupa Goswamiji had written down few things, like some of the Granth, and then some other Vaishnav will come, they share with each other, what are you working on? Rupa Goswamiji shared, I've written this, and if you like to comment me, correct me. Even though Rupa Goswamiji was a direct disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji, but he was so humble that he was ready from some another other sampradaya to get corrected. And the other person said, well, what you have written in there is not right. It's not right." And Rupa Goswamiji said, "Oh, okay, thank you." And that's it. That's what Rupa Goswamiji said. And then this other leader of other sampradaya, he just went away and he was going to take a shower in the bath in the Ganges. Then Jiva Goswamiji was around. He was serving Rupa Goswamiji, so he overheard it. He went to the teacher. He went to the leader of other sampradaya and he corrected him. He said that you didn't understand what he didn't say Rupa Goswamiji is my uncle and all. He said my Guru Maharaj. He said you didn't understand what my Guru wanted to express in those words. He actually meant this. And then the leader understood. Wow, you're right. You're right. I could not understand his understanding. So I was incorrect. I shouldn't have corrected him. And then he said that, but why he didn't mention that you understood what he wrote. So he understood what he wrote. Why he didn't? And he said he was sadhu. He doesn't want to correct anyone. He just got your realizations, whatever you want to share. He's not going out there to correct everyone. But then he said, because I'm young, I'm naive, and then of course he said few bad things about himself, Jiva Goswamiji, that I'm not as humble as him, but I cannot take anything about my guru. So I just thought I should correct you. And then the other Acharya said, thank you so much, you did the right thing. But when Jiva Goswamiji went back, and it's a Braj Vrindavan, a very small place, Rupa Goswamiji found out that Jiva Goswamiji corrected that Acharya who came to me. Rupa Goswamiji kind of chastised him. He said, "You shouldn't have gone out," and because he was your senior. Even though what you said was right, but I heard that you were very angry with him. The way you said it, you should have said it. Go back and said sorry and go out of my sight. I don't want to see you again. And then for few days, it says Rupa Goswamiji didn't meet Jiva Goswamiji. Jiva Goswamiji said so sorry, but still he didn't eat anything. Then Sanatan Goswamiji came back, and then he convinced Rupa Goswamiji that he's young, he's naive. Please accept him back, otherwise he will just because he Jiva Goswamiji stopped eating everything. So he said he's going to leave his body. So Jiva Goswamiji was accepted back in the service of Rupa and Sanatan Goswamiji. So a lot of pastimes are there. We will see, we'll maybe discuss a few more. But just to finish, just to mention the names again. Rupa Goswamiji, Sanatan Goswamiji, Raghunath Bhatta Goswamiji, Raghunath Dasa Goswamiji, then Gopal Bhatta Goswamiji, and Jiva Goswamiji. These are the six. So Rupa, Sanatan, and Jiva. At least we will remember these three out of six. So these were the six Goswamijis of Vrindavan. Still, if you will search the six Goswamijis of Vrindavan, you will get these names. And Rupa Goswamiji, even though he's the younger brother of Sanatan, but Rupa Goswamiji, Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji said to Sanatan Goswamiji that how your younger brother Rupa Goswamiji understands me without me explaining what I want to say. It says in the Bhagavatam also there is a mention, a guru mentioned it to the student that there are three ways, three types of students spiritually, or even materially. But he said one where teacher will say to the student and student will listen, but student might follow or might not follow what the teacher said, right? So we have the example of Mahabharata. Dronacharya ji explained Kripa. A lot of teachers explained things to Duryodhan. He heard it, but he didn't follow. And then to others, like Arjun, teacher will explain and the student will follow. Much better. But there is a top one where teacher will not even have to explain anything. But of course, this happens after a long time, and hopefully we have some experience where we know just because we have lived with someone for that long, the other person will not even have to say anything. We just intuitively understand what other person would like to say. And this is what Rupa Goswamiji did for Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji. Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji said to Sanatan Goswamiji that I want to say this, but even before me saying and explaining anything, Rupa understands. So that's why Rupa Goswamiji understands the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji. Hence considered that Rupa, you go and you lead this. So we will see the four mission being given. So very first one was to rediscover and preserve the lost holy places of Krishna pastime, which is Vrindavan. So Rupa Goswamiji went and found the deities. Well, I wouldn't say he found it. Krishna himself revealed to him. And this is another pastime which is very famous in Vrindavan. But again, I didn't know that this happened to Rupa Goswamiji. So that how Madan Mohanji appeared. So a lot of main. So each of them they had their own deities, and those deities were what we call Swambhu. Swambhu is self-manifested. So they found it because Lord made the arrangement. So either something happened and they found it, they prayed to Krishna, or so like Rupa Goswamiji said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji said that I need to establish, but I can't find your deity. So how can I make the temple? Because in the temple I need the deity. I don't want to construct the deity. I want you, I know you are there somewhere. I need to find you. Could you help me? And then the Lord helped So similarly, each one of them, they established at least one temple and one deity in Vrindavan, which is very famous. And they all are Radha Damodar. Not the probably the most famous Bihariji's temple. That's not one of these. That's a different, even though, but that's got famous for different reasons. But all other famous temples are there, which been established by each one of them, and multiple temples. And then establish the deities, find Vrindavan, establish the deities, then write about me, and then spread the word about the Lord. So these four were there, but we will discuss them more. So Srila Rupa Goswami ji. So again, Rupa Goswami ji was an initiated name. So for example, my initiated name Varunapati Govindadas, in short VP Govindadas, for the practicality, I guess. But Rupa Goswami ji was also a name given by. So this was an initiated name given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Your Guru gives these names. So that's why Prabhupada always said that ISKCON is not a cult. It's not something I have whimsically created newly for the new people to turn hippies into happies. I'm following the Vedic tradition. And so again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji is not the first one. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji started or established the Gaudiya Math, but this principle is a Vedic principle coming out from long, long time, that the teacher, the spiritual master, after initiation will give a new name, a spiritual name. So he was born as Sanatana Mulek, and but his name was given as Rupa Goswamiji, and for respect we add, of course, Shri. So Shri Rupa Goswamiji was Sanatan Mulik, and then 16th century, 1489 to 1516. So 15th and 16th century, if you see, he was around that time. So we are 21st century. So like 5 centuries been back, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came around 500 years back, right? So Bruce, he was the principal disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji. The most significant theology is a word, the study of religious studies. We call theology. So, of course, he did the Vedic studies and established as we said, the framework and the architect of Gauriya Vaishnavism. And Gauriya Vaishnavism also considered as Rupa Anuga. So, followers of Rupa Goswami ji. And systematically Krishna Bhakti philosophy and practices. And we will understand this in Nectar of Instruction and Nectar of Devotion. Very systematically he put together. He created these scriptures. So far we did Bhagavad Gita, words of Krishna to Arjun. We did Shri Ishopnishad. This is where Ishopnishad was the words of the Ishwar. So one sage got these words about the Lord, right? But here we found the author who created it, who put these together, and very systematically how we can follow. So he's renowned for his scriptures. And then very briefly, life and early years of Rupa Goswami ji before he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji. So he was in the court. He was the finance minister. I think Rupa Goswami ji and Sanatan Goswami ji, one was prime minister and finance minister. They were like this at that time, and it was a Mughal time. Nawab Hussain was the chief, and he was serving them. Well, he was serving him. So from court official to saint, how he became a saint. He had, of course, he was in a like a, if you think about the prime minister of the financial minister, they are wealthy people, not only family wise, but the job wise also. They were very wealthy. But then they gave up everything to become the sage. Imagine the journey they had it. And I gave you the live examples of a couple of devotees I met. One, of course, he was pretty young, early 30s. He relocated 5 years back. And another Prabhuji, he is the head of Ministry of Education in Mayapur Institute, looks after globally all the institutes for ISKCON. So he's very high ranked. But when he moved, he was in very high ranked. He was serving the ministers in Oman. Oman is one of the countries in Middle East. Muscat is the capital, so I met him in Muscat. He was serving the minister. So he used to fly out with minister. He was a consultant. He used to put together for the government. And he left that job to go to Mayapur, and he relocated with his own family with two young girls who were going in their schools. But there are three schools, and I think there are two and a half, maybe more now, 2,500 kids go to these three schools. I think all three are international schools. So this is Rupa Goswamiji did, and this is one of the Tapan Mishra Prabhuji example I can see. I was blessed enough that I met Prabhuji's. But he was Rupa Goswamiji was born in Jessore district, which is in Bangladesh now. But his family originated from south, from Karnataka. A lot of time people say that oh, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji was Bengali, and then that's why a lot of acharyas are Bengali. But not really. Rupa Goswamiji wasn't Bengali. He was a Karnataka. He wasn't born there in Karnataka, but his roots were there. So he wasn't. But of course, when he started following, then everything became like my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swamiji Guru Maharaj. He's American. He has been living in India for that long. He speaks fluent Bengali. He lives in Mayapur, so he can write Bengali. I've heard Bengali from Guru Maharaji, but I met a Bengali person who said that the Bengali he speaks that's very authentic. It's like very script. It's not one of those we sometimes learn a language just because we are there and we speak layman's language. He said that's very authentic, official Bengali, and the words he used in that because Guru Maharaj we preach in Bengali as well to Bengali people. So Rupa Goswamiji was, I guess, presumably very similar. His family language could have been different in Karnataka, different languages, depends where you are. So he was highly ranking official, as we said in Bengal, Sultan. So that Sultan was the Nawab Hussain. Nawab Hussain was, I'm not sure if Nawab Hussain was Sultan or the Sultan was in Delhi, and then Nawab Hussain was a local chief. I'm not sure about it. But Nawab Hussain was the person they were serving. But of course, they were serving all together to the same Sultan of that time. Not sure politically how the structure was. But Rupa Goswamiji were three brothers, Sanatan Goswamiji and another one, Anupam Goswamiji. Anupam Goswamiji also did the sannyas, but whose name Vallabha, but wasn't as famous as Sanatan and Rupa Goswamiji. But the transformation, when the transformation happened, we will see in 1515 CE, when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji. So Rupa Goswamiji was always very spiritual, religious. He was a Brahmin. He came from Brahminical family. But the transformation happened when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji. Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji, if we read hopefully one day we will reach to Chaitanya Charitamrita Granth. There we will see the journey Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji did. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji who did a trip to South India trip was there. Then he went to Vrindavan as well. And I think on the way back from South India trip, Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji met in Ramkheli, a place in Bengal. He met Rupa Goswamiji around 1550. So that's the time Rupa Goswami. So he spent, Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji and Rupa Goswamiji spent some time together. And it says, and the words are the teachings are there, Chaitanya Charitamrita in detail, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji shared. And of course, this is written by Kaviraj Goswamiji, Krishna Kaviraj Goswamiji, whatever he could remember during those times. And he was very old as well. But whatever is there is very devotional. So all the instructions. So the life-changing encounter with Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji, the location was Ramkheli village in Bengal around 1515 CE. Immediate spiritual transformation. It's like, and I've read many other sages as well, right? Swami Vivekananda is one of them. So he was a still spiritual. He was going around, but one day uh, the Avdut Gita, Ashtavakra Gita. Ashtavakra Gita was given by his spiritual teacher Ramakrishna Paramahansa to Swami Vivekananda. He read it and he said, "This is no good. What's written there?" And he said, "Don't you believe what it says there? This is from Ashtavakra, who is a renowned sage in Vedas." And he said, "No, I don't understand how," because he was looking for the devotional side. And then it says that Ramakrishna Paramahansa ji touched Swami Vivekananda. And then Swami Vivekananda in his book, he explained what he felt at that moment, and that was the transformation, spontaneous transformation. Very similar transformation Adi Shankaracharya ji did with one of other uh, disciple of his. That disciple, I forgot his name. There is a scripture on his name. That disciple was considered dumb. Like he was there in the monastery, he was serving Adi Shankaracharya along with everyone. Everyone else were getting liberated, getting spiritually enlightened, writing a lot of things, serving a lot, giving the lectures. And this disciple used to cry and he used to say, "What's wrong with me? Why the transformation is not helping me?" And then people were saying different things to him. But he said, well, I'm not going to leave because I have trust in my guru. I might not be as intelligent, smart, great like you guys, but I have faith in my guru. And then once somebody half-heartedly joked, made a humor of this person. This person wasn't there. He went to get the water for Adi Shankaracharya ji, his guru, from the river. And while he got a bit delayed, I think, and the class was about to start, and Adi Shankaracharya ji asked, "Where is that disciple of mine?" Everybody else were there, and then people started laughing. Doesn't really matter. He doesn't get you anyways. And that was a moment. The teacher, Adi Shankaracharya ji, explained to these people, these disciples, that you might understood what I say because you can recite it back and you can explain it further. You can write lectures on them. But he's the one who has faith in me. He's the one who is humble. And because of all his service, today, at this moment, I'm going to give him what you could not achieve. And it says, and it's very much, very nicely documented. There are scriptures written on it, but on YouTube, I think we can find Updeshamrit, and there is one particular episode on this. So Updeshamrit, I'm not sure who put this together. Very good service, and many different examples are there from Vedas, like Madhvacharyaji's story is also there. A lot of other gurus are there. And this particular incident from Adi Shankaracharya is also there. So instantaneously he says, take, I give you the jnana, I give you the mukti, I give you the liberation. And it's beautiful. I'm just trying to paraphrase in English, but in Sanskrit he said that. And it says that at that moment, the disciple felt he was far away remotely. He felt it. So Ramakrishna Paramahansa physically touched Swami Vivekananda. And then autobiography of a yogi. The Paramahansa Yogananji also did it with one of his disciples remotely. He was a yogi. Adi Shankaracharya ji did something very similar, and of course, he was probably the remote as past we can get. And this disciple heard it, he felt it, he ran straight, and when he reached there, he was crying, and it says he recited in Sanskrit. Then and there, he created the Sanskrit prayers. And those prayers are very famous in Adi Shankaracharya's, in obviously in that sampradaya who follows. And there's a name for those prayers, and there's the name is on the name of the that disciple, of course, who became the acharya later. But this goes proving the fact that immediate spiritual transformation is possible. So we have seen a number of examples from different sampradayas. That it doesn't happen only in one sampradaya. It's not that one sampradaya is a kind of make these things up. It's possible. But one thing common in all the examples, the disciples have unwavering trust and faith in their spiritual master. One common thing and this is what we will see the example we have seen what Rupa Goswami ji said about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji. He just left everything. And what our Srila Prabhupada ji did it. I'm just going to follow what my Guru Maharaj ji said it. The instructions, the faith in Guru, that's one thing takes us. And of course, that develops the desire to serve. So that happens then. Instructions received, develop Krishna consciousness philosophy, establish Vrindavan as pilgrimage. So it says establish, but it's re-establish. Vrindavan was, of course, there but when the Arabic. So I think the Britishers didn't do that much harm religiously because they didn't break temples because their funda was very much different. But when the Arabs came, they wanted to establish their own religion, so they started breaking, destroying the temples, and then Vrindavan was destroyed. And then these six Goswamis is re-established because Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji asked for service, and then write devotional literatures. So it says three, but there are like four different instructions there. The newly found identity received the name Rupa. Rupa itself, Rup is a beautiful form. So Rupa Goswamiji, not that he was physically beautiful, which of course he was, but it says Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji. The reason it says Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji was the combination of Krishna and Radhaji. And Radhaji was God, golden complexion, and that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji was, golden complexion, hence Gaudiya Mat. So this is I haven't been to this place, but this place in Ramkheli, some Bengali devotees they mentioned that it's still there. There's some other places I've been where Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji met other devotees, but not this particular one. But that's when the realization happened, and then these were the four, which is rediscovering and preserving the lost holy places, which is like Vrindavan, and establishing the deities and their worship. So maybe I will create a table where which I hope you would know some of the temples I mentioned. Radha Damodar temple is there. Radha Madan Mohan temple is there. Govindaji. Govindaji's temple is there, which Rupa Goswamiji established. Madan Mohanji, I think Sanatan Goswamiji did it. But I will create the temple of each Shar Goswamiji, which temple they created and which deity they found, because every deity has a name. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada gave the name to every every deity in every ISKCON temple. So if you go on mayapur.tv, or if you go, I know many temples like in Delhi temples, Noida temple. there is where if you go at the back, when you did take the Prakamma, different deities are there, and at the bottom the names are given. I got here from Delhi temple because I got like a life membership there. So they gave the deity's picture, and I got it here in London. The name of the Radha uh, Parthasarathi, I think, the name of the deities there in the Delhi temple, which is in east of Kailash. So we established the deities and their worship, philosophical, which is the literature which we are reading, and how we should follow what the devotees should do, which we'll see in Nectar of Instruction and Nectar of Devotion. So this is all the glories to Rupa Goswami ji, because this is the picture we see now. Rupa Goswami ji, in his mouth he got the straws, and it says this is the way the disciples used to go to the teacher requesting, please accept me as your disciple. That's that humble. This is a very traditional way of Vedic way of approaching Guru to be accepted as the disciple. So we will stop here, and we will continue hopefully from Nectar of Instruction next week, and we will share a few more things. But what Rupa Goswami ji has said in Nectar of Instruction, beautiful, beautiful. What is what we all try to. And we will become better, not only spiritually, but materially as well, better humans in the society. So with that, Rupa Goswami ji ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila
He
Gurudev ki jai, jai Jai Shri Radhe, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna. Look forward to see you next weekend. Hare
No
Krishna.
problem.
Hare Hare.